U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that he would not be attending the Group of 20 talks, the G20 talks this month in South Africa. And Rubio said that he was skipping the event because of the host government, as it had an anti-American agenda targeting South Africa directly when saying this. Rubio's announcement comes 2 days after President Donald Trump lashed out at South Africa over the recent land reforms. In a post on social media, Marco Rubio said he would boycott the G20 talks of foreign ministers in Johannesburg on February 20th and 21st. Rubio wrote, "South Africa is doing very bad things, expropriating private property." He also added that South Africa was using G20 to promote solidarity, equality and sustainability. In other words, DEI and climate change. DEI, or diversity, equity and inclusion, has been attacked relentlessly by the Trump administration. Earlier, President Trump asserted that South Africa was confiscating land, accusing Pretoria of treating certain classes of people very badly, quote unquote. Trump had also threatened to cut funding to the country.
Terrible things are happening in South Africa. The leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination. And until such time as we find out what South Africa is doing, they're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa rejected Trump's assertions and said that he was ready to explain his government's land reform policy to his U.S. counterpart. The act stipulates the government may, in certain circumstances, offer nil compensation for property that it decides to seize in the public interest. However, it does not allow for arbitrary seizures and states that attempts must be made to reach an agreement on compensation with the owner. On Tuesday, Ramaphosa spoke with top Trump ally Elon Musk to raise concerns about disinformation being spread by the U.S. president. Land ownership is a contentious issue in South Africa, with most farmland still owned by white people 3 decades after the end of apartheid. The government is under pressure to implement reforms. The absence of the United States, the world's largest economy, would mark a major blow to the G20, which is meant to represent the world's largest economies. Now, the meeting could have also offered a first opportunity for Rubio to meet his Russian counterpart, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov of Russia. Our correspondent Calden Ongmu shared this report from Johannesburg.
The first important meeting of G20 foreign ministers will kick off in Johannesburg on February 20th. South African government says they are looking forward to host all member states, but this morning on a social media platform X, U.S. Secretary of the State Marco Rubio wrote that he will not be attending the G20 Summit in Johannesburg, reiterating what President Trump has said, that South Africa is doing very bad things, expropriating private property. In a statement, South Africa's Foreign Affairs Minister, Ronald Lamola, said he has noted the tweet and said there is no arbitrary disposition of land or private property in South Africa, and that South Africa's G20 presidency is not confined to just climate change, but also equitable treatment for nations of the Global South, ensuring an equal global system for all. He said South Africa remains open to engage with the U.S. On Wednesday, presidency spokesperson Vincent Magwenya confirmed that conversation is already taking place at various levels between U.S. and South Africa on issues relating to PEPFAR AIDS, and also refuting some mischaracterization of South Africa and application of the country's laws. He even added that President Ramaphosa's intention is to welcome President Trump on a state visit ahead of G20, which will afford the two to engage on various issues. This is Calden Ongmu from Johannesburg, South Africa for WION The World is One.